going to be myself, Toastmaster Patti Adams, and I will ask Bruce Adams if he will come up and do my introduction. And while he's coming up, if you all will all take a seat in these chairs, because it's storytelling time. So here goes Bruce Adams.
And to our guests, please join us. It's a small and intimate group. We will ask you for comments at the end of the meeting. Glad to have you. Thank you. Patti Adams will be delivering the last speech in her Storytelling Advanced Manual. This will be project number 1, The Folk Tale. The title of Patti's speech is The 7 Ravens. Patti has only 3 more speeches and 1 presentation before she will reach Distinguished Toastmaster status, the highest award Toastmasters has to offer. Please join me in welcoming our next speaker, Toastmaster Patti Adams.
I'm sorry, I did the thing. I don't know how to do that. Thank you. Okay, now you do it.
Let's start.
Done.
Toastmasters and our guests, thank you so much for coming. Today the story that I will be sharing with you all is called The 7 Ravens. It's a folk tale. The story starts like this. That was a man and a woman who wanted to have children. They wanted to have children really, really bad. And God granted them their wish. They had 7 boys. Okay, that was fine. Except for that when they were thinking about having a family, they were thinking about having boys and girls. They went to the doctor and they got the most exciting news. They were going to have a baby girl. They rushed home, they gave hugs, and they cherished every moment that they spent together waiting for this precious daughter to arrive. She came. She agreed. And she was with them. Except for that she was very sickly and she was very small. So the dad was concerned that she wasn't going to make it. So he thought, I have to do something. So he thought, I know what, I'll do an emergency baptism. Well, I didn't know that a person could do a baptism, but he felt like that's what he needed to do to save his daughter. So who am I to argue with that? He told his 7 sons, just one of them, go down to the well, get me some water, and bring it back so that I may baptize your sister. And of course, it was 6 other brothers, so they wasn't going to let the one brother go by himself. So they all went down to the well, all 7 of them. And as boys would do, they started kind of goofing off and playing around, and you know, one wanted to have the jug and the other wanted to have the jug. Well, guess what happened? The jug fell in the water. Now the boys don't want to go home. They're all looking at each other saying, oh my gosh, Dad's going to kill us. We don't have the water to baptize our sister. We can't go home. So instead of them going home, they stayed out there and they played. Well, Dad was getting infuriated. He was very angry because this was important to him. So he looked up to the sky and he looked around for the boys and he didn't see them. And he said, those godless boys, I wish they would all turn into ravens. And just as he said that, he heard this whirring sound over his head. And the boys all turned into ravens. He had placed the curse on his own sons, and they flew away. Well, time passed, and this little girl actually became very well, and she became more beautiful as the days went by. She loved her parents. She adored her parents, and she thought for a long time that she was an only child. Except that she went out one day, and she overheard someone talking. It was a lady, and she was snickering and laughing with her friend. And she was like, ha, she's beautiful and all, but little does she know that she's the cause of her brother's misfortune. Brothers? What do you mean, brothers? She was shocked. Could it be possible that Mom and Dad had other siblings and they didn't tell me? Children, and I have siblings and they didn't tell me? So she rushed home and she approached her Mom and Dad. Mom, Dad, is it true? Is it true? Papa says, well, what do you mean, is it true? Is it true? Is it true that I have brothers? Well, of course, yes, you do, but it's not something we want to discuss with you, young lady. She was very sad, and all she could think about is, I have to find a way to go and save my brothers. They have to be out there somewhere. They just have to be. So she decided to go on this long journey. She took a little ring that her parents had given to her as a remembrance of who her parents was. She took a jug of water in case she got thirsty. She took a loaf of bread in case she got hungry. And she took one little stool just in case she got tired. And she went on her journey to find her brothers. She walked and walked and walked until she reached the end of the world. That's a lot of walking. And she came upon the sun, thinking, surely the sun will help me. God placed the sun there, so the sun has to help me. But when she got to the sun said, what are you doing here, little girl? You're not supposed to be here. I eat children. Get out of here. So she rushed out because she was afraid. She then came upon the moon, and it was cold. And she asked the moon, Moon, can you help me find my brothers? The moon said, I smell lunch. Well, again, for a little girl, that scared the pieces out of her, so she ran off again. But she came upon the most amazing stars, and each one of the stars sat on this little chair. And the morning star rose, and she said, my darling, how may I help you? And the little girl said, well, I'm trying to find my brothers, and I don't know where they are, and I just want to find them. The morning star says, oh, well, honey, I can help you with that. Here, let me give you something. And she reached in her pocket, and she pulled out this chicken bone, and the little girl said, well, that's a bone. What am I supposed to do with that? And the lady said, oh, it's not just any bone. Your brothers are in a glass mountain. And in that glass mountain, you can't enter the glass mountain without taking this bone. It's going to be used as a key to get in. So whatever you do, don't lose the bone. So the daughter carefully grabbed a cloth. She put the bone inside and she wrapped it. And she held on to it. And she took off running to go try to find her brothers. Well, while she was running, when she finally reached the glass mountain, she didn't have the bone. Now what am I going to do, she thought. I know. So she took a knife and she cut off her little finger. And she placed it inside the keyhole, and guess what? It opened. The door opened. And when she walked in, that was a dwarf that was there. And he told the little girl, little girl, whatever are you here for? I never heard a dwarf sound like that, but she says, well, I'm here to see my brothers. Well then, just come on in. Your brothers, you say, ma'am? There's no brothers here. However, there are some Lord Ravens that come from time to time. That is them, she said. I want to see them. Oh, just go and tarry about your business, he said. They shall be here shortly, and I will let you see them. The little girl went and hid behind the door, but then she thought, they're going to be hungry, so maybe they're going to come back to eat dinner. She watched the dwarf put 7 bowls out of bread for the ravens and 7 glasses of water for the ravens. And just as she was about to give up hope, she heard that same whirring sound that her father heard. And all flew in was the Lord Ravens. Each one of them ate bread from the bowls. And each one of them drank water from the glasses. But what they didn't know is that she had already eaten from each one of the bowls in hopes that she'd find her brothers. And she had already sipped out of each one of the cups. And she left a ring. That ring that she bought, remember, that was part of her mom and dad? She left it in that glass. So when they started eating, they thought, I taste human mouth. I think there's a human here. And just as the last raven was drinking the water, the ring fell out. He said, oh, God has granted us the best gift in the world. We believe that our sister is here. She ran from behind the door, and she had the biggest smile on her face as you can imagine. And guess what? They were no longer ravens, for she had not only found her brothers, but she had reversed the curse. And now they were back human, and they hugged, and they kissed, and they were happy to be a family again. Mr. Toastmaster. Changing of the guards. And give me 1 second. What time was that? Thank you.
Please come up and evaluate Toastmaster Patti Adams' speech, The Seven Ravens.
How do you evaluate Miss Patti Adams? Very tough. What I can say about The Seven Ravens, very intimate, moving story. Miss Adams, Toastmaster Adams, excuse me, made the setting or helped create an environment that was very intimate by having the audience sit in a round session, if you would, round table, with her as the pivot of that setting. Very good vocal quality, the variety in her voice, very good sound effects, swishing and swirling sounds. Very good animation where each character was very distinct and described, or depicted, I should say, very vividly. From the dwarf to the different characters, the stars that she introduced in her story. Overall, I thought it was an excellent story. It held my attention for the entire span, and I believe Toastmaster Patti did an excellent job.